How's it going, everyone? My name is Ross Miner, and today I'll be showing you how blind people are able to play Stardew Valley. Now, before we start the video, of course, I'm going to say to like, comment, subscribe, and check out all the links in the description below. Okay, so how do blind people play Stardew? Well, for those of you who don't know who I am Ross Miner, and I am completely blind. So if you can't tell, I am very excited to be showing you all this video because I love games like Animal Crossing and now Stardew Valley. So unlike my Animal Crossing video where I show people how I play Animal Crossing just as is, Stardew is not accessible for many reasons that I won't go into until this mod came out called Stardew Access. Stardew Access is the mod created by Shoaib, and all credit definitely goes to him for making this mod. It is quite incredible and robust. And this mod adds so many accessibility features, I don't even know where to start, so I'm pretty much going to run through them one by one and explain how I do things. I'm only covering a few of the features that Stardew Access has. If you want to look at them all, links will be in the description, as well as all the keys on how to play, use the mod, things like that, in case you're interested.
Note from Ross. Forgot to mention in the video, but 99% of the menus are screen reader accessible.
So how do I even know what I'm doing in the first place? Well, the mod tells me whenever I walk over something or whenever I bump into something, and it'll tell me what it is. So using my screen reading technology, you can hear it right there. It is very fast. I'll slow it down for you all. There we go. Turn it up a little. So hopefully you guys can understand this, but whenever I walk around, listen to what it says.
Double bed.
Double bed.
Busy keg.
Busy keg. Fun little fact there. That tells me that it's busy doing something. But yeah, it's a keg.
Charcoal kiln.
And just like that, I'm able to walk around and it'll tell me what's around me. But this is just scratching the tip of the iceberg with this mod. One thing that blind people struggle with this game is being able to move in precise directions and where they need to. So I'm able to walk around just like this just fine, but when it comes to watering my plants and everything, well, this mod takes care of that.
Furnace.
Since Stardew Access is open source, a developer by the name of Grumpy Crouton stepped in and created a mod called Accessible Tiles. Accessible Tiles allows the character to move in a grid-like format, and this is useful for blind gamers because when you're watering crops or just trying to pick something up, you have to be really, really precise. And so almost being able to count your steps, kind of like how they do in Pokemon, really helps here. So to demonstrate, this is me moving kind of left and right, up and down, all of that, just with the stick on the controller. However, this is me moving tile by tile, so to say.
Grass.
And allows me to focus on each specific tile I want to work on.
Chest. Stone fence. Gate. Harvest of stone fence. Harvest of fertilized water. Harvestable fertilized water corn. Soil.
This is specifically useful in cases where I need to garden, for example, because I need to focus on each tile that I want to either plant or fertilize or till, anything like that. So if I just tap one direction, it'll turn me in that direction on the grid, so to say, without actually having me take a step. So if I tap left,
Harvestable fertilized water corn.
see, it tells me that it's harvestable, that it's fertilized, and that it's watered. If I tap up,
Soil.
I'm at soil, but I haven't actually moved. I've just turned my character, which makes it really, really easy to do.
Fertilized water eggplant.
Just like that. And as you can see right here, I have my garden set up with all of my crops and all of my sprinklers basically set up to where they water them automatically, and all I have to do is walk in and harvest. So in a way, there's kind of a accessibility feature in and of itself. And kind of like what I did with Animal Crossing, I'm going to be doing with Stardew Valley, making an accessible farm. If you haven't seen my accessible Animal Crossing Island video, feel free to check that out. But Stardew allows me to have the creativity to kind of do that with this farm. The next feature Stardew Access has is something I'm a huge fan of because I've talked about this a lot in my video about how I play Pokemon, and that is the bump sound. For anyone that plays Pokemon, you'll know what I'm talking about. But essentially what that is if I run into a wall, it'll play a sound, and that just helps me know that I'm running into something, and you can listen to it right here.
Grass. Farmhouse door.
Just like that. And it's really quiet, nice and easy on the ears. Love it. Also, by the way, everyone, feel free to check out my Twitch if you do want to see me stream Stardew Valley. My Twitch is twitch.tv/rossminer, and you can find it in the description. Now, by far one of the most advanced features that Stardew Access has is the object tracker, which does multiple things. First, you're able to categorize the different types of items. So I'm going to toggle through them right now with the keyboard press.
Farm buildings category. Focus greenhouse 1 door.
Farm buildings,
Entrances category.
entrances,
Crops category.
crops,
Characters category.
characters, like there's so many different. But then within that, you can page up or page down to find the specific object that you want. So for example,
Crops category. Entrances category.
we'll go to entrances, and then I'm going to navigate
Bus stop focused.
bus stop,
Forest focused.
forest,
Backwoods focused.
backwoods, farm cave.
Farm cave focused. End of list. Back forest. Bus farmhouse focused. End of list.
Let's try farmhouse. Once I have farmhouse selected, all I have to do is press another button and it will tell me where it is.
Farmhouse is north 9 tiles at 6414. Player is at 6523.
Right there. So it told me how far away it was and the coordinates that the farmhouse was at and the coordinates that I'm at. So from here, I know that it's north 9 tiles, and I can kind of just walk right over there.
Farmhouse north.
Well, let's say something is really, really difficult to find and you have to navigate through a bunch of things. Some people like to kind of brute force their way through and find the object themselves, but not everyone wants to take the time to do that. And you can have this mod basically track you right where the object is. So right here, I have my horse selected, named Mystery. That's a SpongeBob reference, if anyone didn't know that. And I'm going to track myself to it, and it's going to walk me there.
Move grass. Grass.
It's walking me, it's walking me.
Say mystery is northeast 1 tiles at 7514.
Boom. Just like that, brought me to my horse. Very, very, very useful. Something that's always important with accessibility is giving users the options to play the way they want to. So let's say someone doesn't want to tap all the keys on the keyboard and use the object tracker. Well, there is a built-in radar into the Stardew Access mod, which plays sounds depending on where objects are on the ground. So I'm going to turn on the mod now and essentially listen for the sounds, and if a sound plays on the left, for example, that means an item is on the right. And if a sound has a higher pitch or a different tone, it means it's above or below you.
Stardew access.
See?
Grass. Grass.
And it's my opinion that the radar could be improved a little bit, but this mod is constantly being updated, so I have confidence that eventually it will be improved.
Grass. Torch.
But right now I hear something off to my right. Oh, and that boom sound means that there's an NPC around. So I know that's my horse, for example, up here, I believe.
Stable. 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 Stable.
Around here somewhere. But you can kind of see the radar, it takes a little while to update. So by the time it plays a sound, you already may have moved, which is why I think it could be improved a bit.
Stardew access radar off.
But as you just saw, I used the console command to turn off that radar. And that's another powerful feature of Stardew Access, is being able to use console commands to perform certain actions that may be difficult to do on a keyboard. For example, everyone knows how difficult it is to actually find a Stardew NPC to give them something or talk to them. Well, with the mod, in tandem with other mods, you can press the slash key and type debug where Emily, for example.
Control command greater Emily is at Holly House 16 5.
And it'll tell where she is as well as her coordinates, which saves us so much trouble finding NPCs. The console commands are really, really detailed because obviously you can use them to find people, but you can use them to turn on and off certain Stardew Access features that you don't need to use. You can even use them to teleport places. So like, let's say you get stuck or you're just feeling lazy, you can type debug warp town.
Control command greater town entered.
And here we are. Lastly, you're probably wondering, how do blind people fish in Stardew Access? Well, right now, as it stands, there's no actual way to make that accessible without a ton of work. And so the best way to kind of get around this is an auto fishing mod.
+1 muzzle.
So I'm just going to go down to the water over here, cast my rod. Oh, wow.
Water.
Fail.
+1 cockle.
Oh, there are my crab pots. Okay.
Water.
Oh, God. I'm messing up big time. There we go. Bloop. Oh, wow. That was fast. And see, it just got it for me right away.
+1 trash.
Oh, no wonder it was trash. The game's calling me trash. I'm cheating at fishing. No, just kidding. But that's really it as far as the main points of the Stardew Access mod. There are many, many other features that I haven't covered, but if you are blind and looking for a game to play, this is it. The mod even works with multiplayer, and you can play with multiple people at once. It's a great game to play with your friends. And so lastly, I don't know, I figured I would just show you all around my farm in case anyone is interested. I still have so much work to do. I have over 70 hours into the game and still counting. So obviously you all have seen my garden already. I'm very, very proud of that construction. I'm proud of this little fence enclosure that I made, just because even something like that was so hard to do in Animal Crossing, but with this Stardew Access mod, it made it really, really easy to construct. And then I have little pathways. I eventually want to create a bunch of pathways for blind people that visit my farm, so they kind of know where it will take them. Even though they don't technically need it with the object navigation, it's still a fun little project. Over here I have my chicken coop, and down here I have this kind of cool little idea that I'm thinking of, where if I can just get a tree of each type to line up, I can put tappers on all of them and then kind of harvest them right when they're ready, just right there in a grid. I thought that was kind of a cool little accessibility / usability feature to kind of just make harvesting easier. Fun little fact, I only recently put torches on my farm, and it wasn't even me who did it. I streamed on Twitch and I had people visit my farm, and someone put them down because I didn't realize that the game is kind of dark if you don't have torches. So people were having trouble seeing my farm, and so we put torches down to make it easier for sighted people that were on my farm. Over here on the beach, I put some pathways that I'm proud of, because one of them leads to this bridge over here, so basically it just makes it easier for me to find it. I just have to listen for the pathway. Yeah, right here. And then I can kind of just move right along. See? Just like that. And I have a similar path going to the bridge. So for example, I could just walk along. Or not the bridge, the dock is what I meant to say. Right there. I just have to go down. Boom, brings you to the dock. And that is Stardew Valley with Stardew Access. I hope you all have found this video educational, informative. Accessible gaming is important. No matter your disability, people deserve the right to game and have fun with their friends and socialize. You know, there's so many benefits to making games accessible for people like me or many others. So with that being said, if you want to join the Accessible Gaming Discord, links in the description will be below. As well, if you want to join my Discord, the Ross Miner Discord, talk with me personally, get to know me, check that out in the description. I have a Patreon if you want to support me there. I also have Accessible Gaming merch, so check all that in the description down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all later.